So I'm a neurologist, and I'll talk about neurology. And a disclosure that what you see here, this organ there in the right side, in the upper right side, the brain, is the organ that was used in the last panel and in the upcoming panel. And it's an important organ that in medicine we used not to give it sufficient attention because technology was not advanced enough and treatment was not advanced enough, but the field is changing, and I think that's if we look at the future of medicine, the brain is one of the pivotal areas of change. And globally, we have to know that neurological disorders are the leading causes of disability-adjusted life years. So the opportunities are huge. And since the populations are getting older, we're treating better heart disease, we're treating better cancer, we're dealing much more with brain disease. The prevalence is getting higher, and it affects government, health organization, brain tech investments, etc., in detection, in treatment, in rehabilitation of brain disease. And actually, brain disease encompasses a very wide range of fields. It's not only one, it stems from neurology and other related fields that are dealing with the brain, but we're dealing with stroke, with all its impact, with the cognitive neurology, dementia and all its impact, with neuroimmunology, MS, etc., autoimmune neurology, a novel field that is growing dramatically, movement disorders, epilepsy, neuromuscular disorders, headache, neuro-oncology, and the other big fields, related fields like pain, sleep, neurocritical care, and neurorehabilitation. And here we're talking about the innovative spirit of the ecosystem, so it relates also to the brain and the neuroscience arena here in Israel. And Israeli medical device companies and neurologists are highly experienced and in innovative solutions for brain disease. Obviously, the big breakthrough was the acute stroke change from a disease that we did not treat acutely to treating it first from thrombolysis. I had the great opportunity of starting thrombolytic therapy in Israel, and it was very rewarding, and following that also endovascular treatment. And what we see today in acute stroke management it changes so fast that it's fascinating, and the reward for preventing disability is huge. And in this regard, there are a lot of changes. I mean, devices are improving. There are a huge amount of devices to retrieve the clot safer, quicker, in smaller diameter arteries that you can get there, and this changes within years. A lot of AI-based diagnoses that we'll see more and more, and nowadays there are multiple companies that when someone has a suspicion of a stroke and does a CT protocol with CT angio, CT perfusion, you can detect the event by AI immediately. If it's in a spoke hospital, the data is transferred immediately to the hub hospital. The team is getting the information immediately. You don't need to waste time, and then the personnel, the experienced personnel, get it on their phone or whatever, and they can see the data immediately and not waste time, because wasted time is a wasted brain, certainly in acute stroke. And vascular neurology is not just acute stroke, it's a lot of cerebral small vessel disease that is growing in the brain within years, as you can see in the pictures here, and you see the small vessels of the brain and how it looks like. And it's not asymptomatic. It's associated with vascular cognitive impairment, with gait disability, with depression, etc. So we're seeing more and more companies dealing with how to monitor brain health by different tools. One group of tools is their electrophysiologically assessment of brain health. I'll just mention one Israeli company that also the IMA is a bit interested in them, the Delphi MD that does direct electrophysiological imaging, which it's like an ECG of the brain that you can induce focused magnetic fields which are monitored by scalp electrodes and see the connectivity and the plasticity of the brain and see how the brain is physiologically, not functionally, but physiologically, which is usually much earlier than seeing changes when they affect the clinical symptoms already. So this is very interesting. The dementia field is growing and changing before our eyes with biomarkers, more and more biomarkers, by PET, by CSF, nowadays with blood in the next few years, and more biomarkers for the different diseases, not just Alzheimer's disease, but the different diseases that are related to dementia, and with disease-modifying therapies. This week in the New England, the first drug for Alzheimer's disease, early Alzheimer's disease, that met its primary endpoint in the phase 3 trial that changes the slope of deterioration of degenerative disease, of Alzheimer's disease, and I'm sure that this is the first part of a growing field. So a lot of technology out there that are just in one slide describe not just stroke and disease-modifying therapies for different neurodegenerative disease, also Parkinson, obviously ALS, and other diseases that are in research. Deep brain stimulation for multiple etiologies, MR-guided focused ultrasound, novel migraine therapy, which migraine is changing before our eyes with multiple drugs and devices for migraine, and we see a market that is growing steeply. Genetic therapies for multiple, even rare neurological disease that can change life of patients and families from progressive disease. Epilepsy surgery, you'll hear also about neurosurgery after that, advanced brain imaging and biomarkers, treatment of disease that we didn't treat before, like autoimmune encephalitis, etc. So if we want to look at the future, usually we have to see what Elon Musk is planning and then see where we're going for. So he just says that Neuralink, his brain plant is to begin human trials in 6 months. So I don't know what will occur with that, but it shows you the direction that we're going with treating brain disease, things related also to cognitive enhancement, to all kinds of wearable technologies for neurological disease. So I think that's what I'm telling students, that if you want to choose a specialty, that in the next 4 decades of your career, you see tremendous change and impact an important organ, perhaps the most important organ for us humans, is the brain. So everyone that deals with brain disease here, I think that's a fascinating field that will change. Thank you.